This is
Terroni Talks.
Over the years, we've always brought olive oil in from Puglia. We've had, I think I've changed suppliers maybe 3 times over the last 22 years. And, you know, that's basically because I've always found a better olive oil, a better quality olive oil. And I found a family that I work with that I've just got a great relationship with. It's 100% Coratina is the olive. It's a strong olive. It has a strong bite to it, and it's not for everybody. But the cooking we do, and for my taste buds, I found that I like this type of olive oil a lot. So I get this olive oil from Puglia from a family friend who all his family grow olives, and he basically makes the olive oil for us and sells it exclusively to us. So it's an olive oil that's cared for, you know. From a family that's, you know, not huge. It's not a big industry. He actually, in the late fall, December, that's when they collect all the olives. He gets them, they bring them to get pressed, and he's watching them being pressed. He sends me, I've been there a few times, usually around Christmas time. It's an olive that's got a lot of family tradition to it. So we have a great fit with Paolo, who's our guy, and it's from a town called San Nicandro in Puglia. You get some customers, I think, that think something wrong with this olive oil, right? And it's just that's the Coratina olive, spicy. You know, sometimes he's asked me if he wants me, he can cut it down and cut it with another olive to make it less spicy. But I truly believe that's the way I want to do it. You know, again, another technical fact of olive oil. You know, when you're measuring extra virgin olive oil, it works on a percentage of acidity. So to be an extra virgin olive oil, you can't be more than 1% acidity. And as you get higher, then if you go above it, then it becomes a virgin olive oil, and then higher than that, it becomes just an olive oil. So our olive oil, just to put in context, is a 0.2 between 0.24 and 0.27 of acidity. And it has a lot to do also when they pick the olives from the trees. I mean, the olives, a lot of people, they just let them fall naturally to the ground, and then they go and pick them up. And usually that's also a way that the olives, the acidity levels go up, because they've been sitting on the ground and they get mature and they become darker. These guys, they get the olives, they fall into nets, they try never to hit the ground. They get into the nets, and then they collect them right away, and they bring them right away. They don't have the olives sitting. It's when the olives sit in crates and stuff like that then they become a little bit higher in acidities, and that's a procedure that helps in becoming a really pure olive oil. So also, you know, that's a fact that when, you know, it hurts, or I think it's very wrong when people try to ask for balsamic vinegar to put in our olive oil. You know, it's really like putting water in your wine. You know, it's really just not a right thing to do. I know some people like it in the taste, but it's really ruining olive oil that's been made with lots of tradition, lots of care, lots of love. And we truly believe the way to enjoy that olive oil is to taste it on its own or just with bread. And that's what we try to encourage people to do.
A liter of oil varies every year, changes according to the harvest, but in general never cost a good olive oil, and this is the cheapest you can get when you buy containers, €5 a liter. It's still in Italy and needs to be shipped here. So when you start adding to that, you realize that the amount of, you know, costs more than wine, put it this way. About a good bottle of wine that leaves Italy for €5. It's already a good wine. Olive oil that we buy is the same, cost minimum of €5. Then it has to be shipped here in a container and has to be endo. You know, somebody's gonna get it from the warehouse they bring it here, and this is the oil that is being used for every single dish. So imagine how many pasta, imagine how much olive oil is being used on a daily basis, and this is high quality. We had, you know, a Michelin star chef come and, you know, work for us for a period of time, and they were impressed. They told us, we had an Italian chef, they come and they say, never see like in a restaurant using olive oil, extra virgin olive oil to start the base and meat sauce. Usually they use canola olive oil, even in Michelin star restaurant. So it's a big cost, and along with the pride and the research and everything, of course somebody get upset, somebody like him get upset, because after all this effort somebody wants to add a cheap balsamic, because that's another thing. One thing that maybe we never specified, that one of the reasons why we don't want our olive oil to be mixed with this balsamic is the balsamic that is used in any restaurant in this town. It's a balsamic that is very inexpensive. A gallon of that balsamic probably costs you $5. And so the point is, this is no original balsamic from Modena. This is a balsamic that is made in a facility. It is, we don't even know how it's made. It's sugar and wine, and then it's cooked. And so, if you are to mix our olive oil with the original balsamic from Modena, that costs 250 euros for this much, then we wouldn't have a problem, to associate the two products and, marry the olive oil with the real balsamic. But the problem is that we are not, because we cannot afford it. We don't even have it in the restaurant. We might have it at home, but we don't have it at a restaurant. So we don't want to mix that olive oil with that balsamic. Not with the balsamic, because we don't have the balsamic. We just don't want to do the two things mixed together.
Another way of extracting more oil from the olives is some people out there who are probably cutting their olives from all over the world. If they heat them up, they just get more olive oil, right? So if they're heating up the process when they're turning the machines and they heat it up, they'll get a bigger extraction and they'll get more olive oil. Cold press is like the olives come straight, they go right into these big machines, and they have big stones, and they get the olive oil that comes out. It's getting pure, the first extraction, with no help from heat.
Yeah, also the heat, as change the, it's a cooking process almost. So you almost cooking the olive when you making oil if you eat it, right? So it's also transform slightly the flavor of the oil.